Oh boy, this video is gonna be interesting. Hey everyone, how you doing? So, zombies. I'm sure we all know them pretty well, right? I mean, you're watching a video on the Plants vs. Zombies franchise. So yeah, you're bound to know at least a little bit. They're pretty undead, they're often depicted as a husk, and most importantly for this video, they're rotting, which means they smell. And I've been sitting on a video idea for quite some time now about this fact. So join me, as in today's video, I want to dive right in with a topic so stupid that it's kinda fun. And that topic is ranking every single zombie in the PVZ franchise based on their smell. I'm not kidding, let me explain. Okay, so in order for us all to be on the same page, let me first go over what exactly I mean by smell, since, you know, we have absolutely no concrete way of knowing how any zombies smell. I mean, they don't exist. And as for tourist attractions that PopCap once operated for this franchise, we never really got the zombie smelling experience that we so desperately wanted. But with that being said, we can make inferences and decide what we think a zombie smells like, based on appearance and descriptions alone. And to me, that's basically what this entire video will focus around. The core idea of the video is to be goofy, but it's also going to be a ranking video where I genuinely go over my thoughts on each and every single zombie that I feel needs to be discussed. There's only going to be a few zombies out of the 300 plus we're talking about that won't have much to be said about them. But besides those, if the zombie is unique, I'll discuss my thought process with their ranking to the best of my abilities. I think that works for everyone, so that's my plan. And as for the tier list itself, I'm going to be splitting up each game and part of the franchise I cover into different lists and combine them all at the end. But as for the tiers in these lists, going from bottom to top, we start off at smells fine, which can be best explained as the Midwestern office next to a paper factory that has Febreze being sprayed into one part of the room twice a day to mask the scent. Does that make any sense? I'm sure the visuals I'm showing really help. Thank you, editing me. Next up, we have Only Smells Undead, which I really shouldn't have to explain. It's basically gonna be the brown coat tier of the list, so keep that in mind. Now, the Minecraft hoodie with Axe body spray tier is also pretty self-explanatory. We've all dealt with it at some point, and hell, some of you were probably this type of kid in middle school. So here's a pro tip for those of you who might not know. Axe does not cover for skipping showers. And the zombies that are in this tier are primarily gonna be the ones who need to hear this. Moving up higher is our last real tier, please take a shower immediately. And this tier is basically what I call the animal tier, because most zombies in this tier are the animals. If you've ever been around a dead animal before, which I'm so sorry if you have been, then you know as well as I do how bad they can smell. So this is gonna be for them. And as for our highest tier, borderline radioactive stank is mostly a joke tier, but there's actually a couple of zombies who will genuinely be here, which is why it exists. You'll see why soon enough. But that about wraps up the basics with this video idea. As we go along, I'll explain my thought process more and more, and you'll see how I handle a lot of the trickier zombies when we get to them. Oh, and also, this is only part 1 of this idea. I had to split off the Chinese zombies into a second video I'm working on, so you might see that in January or February. Okay, with that out of the way, let's jump into the first game in the franchise, that being ah yes, the timeless classic, Plants vs. Zombies 1. What an iconic game! And we're gonna make a mockery of it in this video by ranking the stink factor in the zombies. I only make the weirdest content, don't I? Well anyways, here's my thoughts on every single zombie in the game. Starting with the brown coats, all of them, they're gonna go in the Smells Undead tier. The reason why is simple. They keep up appearances. It might not look like much, but that tie took a lot of work for them to put on. And they're clearly not the active type, so I can't really find a reason for them to go below this tier. As for pole vaulting zombie though, Minecraft hoodie tier. Don't think I need to explain how a running zombie building up sweat would smell. PU. Newspaper zombie follows the brown coat trend, especially seeing as how he attempts to read. I'd like to imagine he's not awful smelling, in context of the video at least. But as for football zombie, Minecraft hoodie tier. Have you ever smelled a football player before? Okay, that might sound weird, but if you've gone to a sporting event, you know what I'm talking about. Gross. Both dancing zombies and backup dancers will also be in this tier, albeit for stage reasons. And you've seen performers in their sweat-coated faces singing and dancing, I'm sure. I was personally in that position for a long time, so I know that better than a lot of people do. Snorkel Zombie is probably Minecraft hoodie tier. I mean, he's dipping into probably unclean water and soaking his entire body in it, but the Zombonis are going to be in the smells undead tier, just because it's not that active of a job, and I can't imagine it being too intensive on a body. Zombie Bobsled Team is a bit different, and will go in the Minecraft hoodie tier. But now we have our first big stinker, Dolphin Rider Zombie. Immediately the shower tier. Please take one, and take that rotting dolphin with you, please. Moving right along, Jack-in-the-Box Zombie gets the honor of being in the shower tier too, because I can guarantee that straitjacket hasn't been washed in years. And unfortunately, mental hospitals have a track record of not treating patients very well, so for all we know, this poor guy could have been rotting in that position for a long time. Balloon Zombie will also go in the Minecraft hoodie tier just because, look at him. Digger Zombie will go in the shower tier because, look at him too. Pogo Zombie is going to be in the Minecraft tier, but I only think that's just because it's active like pole vaulting. And next up is the first big debate topic, Zombie Yeti. This guy is interesting because in following games he's a robot, but in PVZ1 he's not. He's got flesh and bones, so I'm going to put him in shower tier, but I'm going to rank him differently in PVZ2 because in that game he is different. Moving on, Budgie Zombie is a shoo-in for Minecraft tier, as is Ladder Zombie because I mean, have you ever worked on a house all day? Yeah, you would smell bad too. And Catapult is probably going in the undead tier. He probably smells okay. Garg though, shower now. Same with Imp, these two just look stinky. Oh, and to round off the normal zombies, there's Dr. Zomboss, who I actually think would be in the smells fine tier. See, Zomboss is a genius, and I'm sure he of all people understands the basics of smelling good. With that being said, this is the running line of logic I'll use throughout the video, which will definitely have an effect on the other lists. But for now, he is the sole zombie in this tier. Oh right, I was asked to rank Dave real quick. Shower tier. Now, there's a couple other zombies we should discuss too, but these are all a bit tougher to rank, so lightning round. All Zombotany zombies are gonna go in the brown coat tier, just because they're still corpses. Trash Can Zombie is gonna go in the shower tier, same with Gigagarg, and Target, Giga Football, Baseball, and Catapult Baseball will all go in the Minecraft hoodie tier. Got that? Here's the final list for PVZ1 on its own. That's a lot of zombies, and a Dave in a pear tree. And this is just one game. Oh boy, even this one list took quite a bit of thinking, but we need to move on anyways, with our next game being Alright, next up on the chopping block is the game that most of you probably forgot about. And if you did, well, I don't blame you. But at the very least, I think it deserves some recognition in the video, so we're gonna talk about it. We'll skip all zombies that we already know about, and only cover new faces from here on out. Starting with Barrel Zombie, solid shower tier. This guy is just filthy, no thanks. DJ Zombie is up next, and I wanna say Minecraft tier. Sure, that works. Rocket Zombie is looking to go in that same tier despite his ingenuity, and both Congo Leader and Conga Dancer will also follow suit, because I mean, they're active. Ice Block Zombie is a little harder for me to give a clear answer for because I could see this one leaning both ways. Since he's frozen, he probably doesn't smell that bad, but at the same time, the fish sticking out of him, I don't know. I'm gonna say undead tier for this one. Feel free to disagree with my assessment. Next up, Imposter Zombie is gonna be in the shower tier since I already put Imp there before. And for Mall Cop Zombie, Paul Blart, top tier. Don't remind me of that Mall Cop ever again. Weightlifter Zombie seems to be an easy pick for Minecraft tier. Gas Can Zombie is almost a walking bomb and therefore goes in shower tier. And finally, the Coach Zombie goes in the same tier as the team he coaches. So Adventures was pretty light, and luckily for us, we don't have to cover many of the zombies we had to before, which definitely eases the workload somewhat. It's unfortunate that the next game happens to be one of the biggest though. Oh no. This game scares me, but alas, we must continue forward with our video and discuss everything here. Everything. Mostly. To show you what I mean, this was my personal rankings on the following: every brown coat design, every Gargantuar design, and every imp design. Oh yeah, I'm serious about this video. I'll show these lists in more detail at the end of the video, but truth be told, I really don't think I have much of an explanation to give on most of these. So, simply put, I just won't. If you want me to elaborate in the comments, I happily will, but yeah, let's move on before the video becomes 4 hours long. Starting with Ancient Egypt, Raw Zombie, Camel Zombies, Explorer Zombie, Torchlight Zombie, Tomb Raiser Zombie, and Pharaoh Zombie, they're gonna all go in the shower tier. Not up for debate, these were ancient times in the world, and even more ancient times for the idea of bodily care. They smelled terrible. As for the Zombot in this world, we're gonna say fine. I'm sure Zombot stocked up on car fresheners, so it's probably not the worst smell in the world. Pirate Seas follows a similar trend, with every single zombie in the world besides the Zombot Plankwalker dropping into shower tier. And the Plankwalker itself probably doesn't smell great either. I mean, look at the imp strapped to it. Yikes. Wild West is luckily just barely better, with Prospector, Pianist, and Poncho all going into Minecraft tier. It was the Wild West, sure, but these guys at least understood basic hygiene. Though as for the Chicken Wrangler and the Chicken, shower now. Zombie Bull and Rodeo Legend are two very interesting cases, since both are robots. But they also have imps riding them, so I guess if I had to decide on a tier, Minecraft Hoodie seems like a good middle ground. Now, the Zombot War Wagon is in a much better position, since the bull on it doesn't have an imp, so I'll say this contraption is sitting in Undead tier. Moving right along the Frostbite Caves, I shouldn't have to say where these reside. Showers, all of you. Even the Tuskmaster looks like a Muskmaster if you get me. It just looks disgusting, doesn't it? Lost City fares a little better, since these zombies are from a more modern era. I'd argue most in this lineup go right into the Minecraft Hoodie tier, with the exception of the Parasol Zombie and the Zombot Aerostatic Gondola. Both of these entries can go in the Undead tier, simply because they seem to take care of themselves decently. Next up, Far Future is a very interesting discussion regarding where I want to rank the zombies. See, it's the future now, and I'd like to imagine that zombies evolve to the point where they smell fine. There's no guarantee in that, but you know how the times go. The longer civilization has gone on, the better we've all smelt, generally speaking. So if that logic rings true, then all of the specials in this world will fit right into the smells fine tier. We can debate about this if you want to, but it's just my personal opinion regarding how they should all smell. Dark Ages is probably the easiest shower tier shoo-in ever, but I want to give a special shout out to the Jester Zombie for getting top tier. This guy sucks, and he smells. Oh, and the Zombot only sits in the Undead tier. Cool. Neon Mixtape Tours Cast is a little more out there, but generally speaking, considering how the people who operated in the 80s used loads of hairspray and cologne, I'm willing to bet that most zombies here smell like Axe body spray. The only exceptions are Glitter Zombie and 8-Bit Zombie, with the former generally looking like she keeps herself in check, and the latter technically not even being a zombie. It's virtual, and therefore probably doesn't smell like anything, so yeah, gonna put both in the smells fine tier. Jurassic Marsh is a world of all time. Everything goes into shower tier, but the Zombot in this world is gonna sit in the smells fine tier, because it looks very well maintained. Big Wave Beach in general has the most zombies sitting in the Minecraft Hoodie tier at best. Remember, the 60s and a beach resort at that. Nope, get me out of here. Special shoutouts go to Octo Zombie, Fisherman Zombie, and the Zombot though. Octo Zombie is in the shower tier because those are live octopi, and that is just gross. Fisherman Zombie is in top tier because I hate him, and the Zombot mech for this world looks really clean, so it goes in bottom tier. Enough said. Finally, for the main worlds, we have Modern Day, which is sadly really barren. The only two unique zombies in this world are the Sunday Edition Zombie and the Superfan Imp. One which I'll put in the Undead tier, and the other I'll put in the shower tier. I've met some interesting sports fans before. Not gonna elaborate further, but that's not all for these types of zombies. We also have the Penny's Pursuit zombies too. Ancient Rome is first up here, and you tell me. In our modern day, most historians know two things about this time period. 1, the Romans were gay, and 2, it smelled horrible. Not a single zombie escapes the shower tier. We also have the Z-Corp Incorporated zombies. God, say that 5 times fast. And I don't think I need to explain any of my placements. Z Corp Consultant knows what she did, and she knows she deserves it. Backyard Big Top is also here, and considering how bad carnivals used to smell, yeah, I don't think anybody here escapes the smelly tier either. It's more of a safe bet than anything else, but still. As for some special zombies that aren't just reskins, the Turkey Boss is easily going in the shower tier. The Nutcracker is going to go in the smells fine tier only because it cracks nuts, and I don't know, that sounds fun. Cardio Zombie is going to go in the shower tier. Z-Mech is going to go in the smells fine tier for reasons I've stated with Zomboss and futuristic tech in general. Hashtag Cake Tank is also going in that tier because who doesn't love cake? Treachery Yeti is going in that tier too, and Impair Imp is on my other list. Oops. Okay, well, it's going to go in the Minecraft Hoodie tier. Any other zombies that I didn't mention in this section were either not unique to PVZ2 and were already in a previous game, or were simply reskins and stronger versions of existing zombies. Like, listen, I'm not gonna rank every iteration of Wizard, sorry. And as tempting as it may be, I refuse to rank All-Star 5 times in this video. Though I guess it's fitting that I mentioned him, since next up we have... Ah yes, Garden Warfare 1. This is gonna be an interesting section because many of the zombies here are actually pretty intelligent. For zombies, at least. But even still, there's bound to be some stinkers. So let's discuss everyone, why don't we? Starting with the foot soldiers, Reg is gonna be a solid Minecraft tier. I mean, he literally carries a smoke bomb that can poison and gas out plants. That's gotta smell pretty bad. And the one carrying it probably smells worse. Following in his footsteps are Camo Ranger, Super Commando, General Supremo, Tank Commander, Arctic Trooper, and Sky Trooper. And then we have Centurion, which, despite everything he's wearing canonically being fake, if there's one thing I truly believe about these games, it's that when a zombie is committed to a time period, they're committed. So yeah, he probably smells awful. Take a shower immediately. Engineer is gonna be in the Minecraft Hoodie tier, but he's not alone. Welder, Electrician, Landscaper, going with him. But as for the ones I skipped when I said that, well, Painter is dealing with borderline toxic fumes at all times. Mechanic is a mechanic. I don't have to explain that. Plumber works on toilets and carries a literal toilet gun. And sanitation expert? You tell me! Yeah, all 4 of these guys are going in the shower tier, no exceptions. I would dare say sanitation expert should go higher with his toxic damage, but this feels more fitting. As for scientist, I'll put him in the undead tier. To be honest, the worst smell I'd gauge he'd have would be smelling like a high school chem class, so that's not the worst thing in the world. Chemist would only be amplified in that sense, and same with physicist and astronaut. Dr. Toxic though, top tier. Yeah, I don't think I need to explain the guy who's wearing a hazmat suit. Marine biologist, archaeologist, and paleontologist all go in the shower tier for reasons that you should expect at this point, and Dr. Chester is gonna go in the fine tier. Simple reason? I like the smell of cheese. That's it, moving on. To round out the playable cast, every all-star sits in the Minecraft Hoodie tier at a minimum, with Hockey dropping down to shower tier due to his entire gimmick being shooting stinky gloves? Ew! And also wrestling stars in top tier. Enough said. Oh, and finally, I count both Impunt and Long Bomb as zombies, so they're gonna go in shower tier because they're basically walking kegs of explosives, and they probably reek of gunpowder. Now, as for the rest of the zombies in Garden Warfare 1, these make things a little more complicated. If we look at the spawnable AI, you might notice that some of these guys are pirates. But we already covered pirates before in PVZ2. Huh. Well, in my humble but objectively correct opinion, the only 2 pirates that should count are the map pirates and the barrel pirate zombies, since both use unique props. Now, as for how everything would be ranked, the coffin and outhouse zombies both go straight to shower tier. The very idea of them is just no, nuh-uh, ew. Map pirates and barrel zombies also go in this tier, and the vampire zombie will only go in the Minecraft tier, since it looks like it takes good care of its hair, which means it probably only smells like BO. All seasonal variants go in the undead tier, they're just brown coats, so no big deal. As for the bosses, Baron Von Bats goes in the Minecraft Hoodie tier for the same reason as the vampire zombie. Giga Garg and his imp go in the Minecraft tier too, because they're just cooler than other Gargs. And finally, the Zombomb goes in the shower tier. I have a Garg bias, and I'm not afraid to show it. So, that's Garden Warfare 1 just about wrapped up. And with that done, how about we jump into the sequel of Peak? We are 25 minutes into the recording process. My voice is starting to give out already. Okay, anyways, despite this game seeming like it has less new content to offer, there's actually almost more variety in the choices we have to make with the new set of zombies we get here. And as we power through the list, you'll see why, because trust me, this cast is weird. Starting off strong with the zombies of the old guard, Scuba and Park Ranger both get sent to the shower tier for eternal showering, banished to the bathtub. Y'all smell. AC Perry's gonna go in the Minecraft hoodie tier, but Rody Z is not lucky. He looks gross as hell. In this video, I have been judging on looks alone for some zombies, but like, come on, look at him. Zoologist goes into shower tier, which I shouldn't have to explain at this point, but Computer Scientist was difficult. Honestly, I'm still split on this one, because I could see him being a chronically online gamer guy who probably plays League like it's nobody's business, but at the same time, he seems like he relatively keeps up with his body. So I'll say he goes into middleman tier, Minecraft hoodie. And finally, for the old timers, Tennis Star gets the ultimate Axe body spray treatment, Boto X gets the shower tier for the same reasons you think, and Wrestling Star somehow made his way back onto the list. So he's gotta go back in top tier. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. For the new guard of zombies, this decision was a lot more complicated for me. I wanted to put every imp in the shower tier immediately, but frankly, that's a little bit cruel and a little undeserved. So if we go back and look through all new imps, I'd probably put Imp himself in Undead tier, along with Pylon and Party. Everyone else goes way low though, they seriously need to take showers. Z7 especially, in fact he gets top tier placement. I'm making this change on the fly. For the Super Brains, Reg, Cosmic, Electro, and Party all go in the Minecraft hoodie tier, seeing as how they're all fairly active. Breakfast is gonna go in the Smells Fine tier, surprisingly, though considering how cereal like Fruit Loops smell, yeah, I'm pretty inclined to believe his are similar. Oh, and Toxic Brains shouldn't have to be explained. Top tier. His suit is even leaking, that looks horrendous. Deadbeard is gonna follow a slightly stinkier rule, as all but two go in the shower tier. The exceptions are Party and Squawk, with Party going in the Minecraft hoodie tier for swagger, and Squawk going in top tier. He is genuinely disgusting. Hovergoat gets an honorable mention as he'll go in shower tier, along with Stinky Goat, which technically does count as a zombie. The Mecha Cat you use in Affinity Time should also count, so we'll say it's in the Smells Fine tier. I mean, have you ever smelt a cleaned cat before? If you have, you'll understand my choice. Oh, and I guess the parrot counts too, doesn't it? I'll play the sound effect for the tier it's gonna go in. As for the spawnables and bosses, Karate Zombie is gonna go in the Minecraft tier for his sick fighting style, all browncoats go in the browncoat tier, Gargotuar and Houseguard slide into the shower tier pretty comfortably, Captain Smasher goes into shower tier for just looking disgusting, and both special Yeti bosses go in the fine tier because they're both robots. The other special zombies are the Zombot from Zomburbia's First Point, which would be in the Smells Fine tier, the Sasquatch Imp, which I'm putting in top tier because he looks weirdly menacing, and finally, the Robo Zombie goes in the Smells Fine tier for his Robo Riz. Talk about a crazy game, this list looks way more varied than Garden Warfare 1's. And yet, we still have a massive roadblock to face. Oh no. Yeah, next up is our other major problem game, which is... Okay, so this game was gonna be the one that I wanted to wing at first, but honestly, after looking more at it, I can't do that. It really doesn't deserve that treatment, especially since my last major tier list video just kinda threw it in. So, to my Heroes fans out there, y'all win. Just this once at least. I'll actually explain my thoughts behind every zombie that feels notable enough to explain, so let's dive right in. Reluctantly. Starting with the Zombie Heroes, the Smash immediately goes into shower tier for just looking like a zombified Hulk Hogan wannabe. Infinity goes into Minecraft hoodie tier for just being an imp. Rustbolt seems fine, considering he has high-ish tech gadgets, which makes me personally believe he smells okay. In the bottom tier he goes. Electric Boogaloo goes into Minecraft tier, same with Huge Giganticus, for looking at me weird. Brain Freeze is apparently a real zombie yeti, which makes me think he should go into shower tier for having a full coat of fur that likely doesn't get washed. Professor Brainstorm goes into nerdy browncoat tier for looking unkempt and relatively undead spelling. And Mordecai goes into Minecraft tier, Z-Mech goes into Smells Fine tier, and Neptuna probably smells like fish. So she's going into shower tier. I don't know why I'm laughing, I'm sorry. God damn, I'm really... Okay, that was Heroes alone. As for the zombie cards, I'm only counting cards that are actual zombies, which thankfully isn't all of them, but it's still a lot. So, let's begin. The Beastly class is up first, and you can probably guess where a lot of them are going. Skunk Punk needs a shower, Pied Piper needs one too, get a steamy one going for Zookeeper. Locust Storm is, well, to be honest, I'm not sure if it's a zombie or not. We'll say it is, and we'll put it in the shower tier too. Dog Walker actually sits in the brown coat tier, since he seems like a proper guy. Haunting Zombie also sits in that tier, and Loudmouth goes into shower tier for looking like he'll scream your ears off about some Addie's doing. Haunting Ghost goes into brown coat tier, because I'm pretty sure ghosts wouldn't smell that bad. Vengeful Cyborg goes into hoodie tier for looking like that one guy at the gym who doesn't wear deodorant. Squirrel Herder needs a shower desperately. Vampire goes into Minecraft tier. Kangaroo Rider needs a shower, and especially the Imp. Biodome Botanist goes into shower tier for looking like he does farm work. And the Cosmic Yeti is one I'm not sure about, so I'll just match him with the other real Yetis and throw him in the shower tier. Primordial Cheese Shover needs to take a hint with a smell. Killer Whale probably needs one too. Cat Lady hasn't seen a shower since her third cat. Cheese Cutter smells fine, so he'll go in bottom tier for his cheese. Cyborg Zombie goes in the Axe body spray tier. Ancient Vampires should probably learn what a shower is. Nurse Garg probably smells undead at worst, considering all the medical regulations he'd have to follow. Zombot 1000 doesn't seem like it smelled too bad, so bottom tier. Interstellar Bounty Hunter goes in the undead tier for the sheer aesthetic alone, along with the Supernova Garg. Mondo Bronto goes into Stinky Stink Stank tier, as does the Gargantuar throwing Gargantuar. Fraidy Cat should turn to water on hot. Secret Agent only really smells undead. Energy Drink Zombie should lay off the Creeper hoodie at some point. Synchronized Swimmer needs to stop using Axe. Overstuffed Zombie should wash away his gluttony. Sneezing Zombie should focus on cleaning up her germs. King of the Grill is making me hungry, so bottom tier for that. And finally, Zombats really need to take better care of themselves, starting with a hot bath. That was one class, and we still have 4 more to get through. Don't ever say I didn't give PVZ Heroes some appreciation, because that would be a lie. Next up is Brainy, and I technically count Telepathy as a zombie, so we'll say it's undead at worst. Cardboard Robot and Paparazzi Zombies both go in undead, with Drum Major sitting comfortably in the Minecraft tier. Chimney Sweep realistically should have swept his way through a locker room shower while it's still running. Beam Me Up is a funny name, so it'll go in the brown coat tier, along with Cell Phone Zombie and Pool Shark. Brain Vendor probably doesn't smell great, and neither does Mountain Climber, both in Axe tier. Moonwalker reminds me of the Tier 1 Season 3 Fortnite Battle Pass outfit, so immediately bottom tier for making me remember who that was. Copter Commando reeks of BO. Mustache Waxer gets the undead treatment along with Gentleman Zombie and Kite Flyer. Wizard Garg zaps his way into a bathtub despite his best efforts not to. Cosmic Scientist comfortably slides into undead tier. Zomblob looks borderline toxic, so top tier. Mad Scientist and Portal Technician won't follow as they drop into undead tier. Wormhole Gatekeeper has a really flashy design, so bottom tier along with Neutron Imp. Duckstash is brown coat material, I guess? Shield Crusher Viking reeks. Trickster reminds me of Persona 5, but I'm not giving it the last surprise enemy advantage, so it's going in the same tier as Viking. Both interdimensional and teleportation zombies fit into the undead tier, with the Mime Garg needing to mimic a shower handle. Zombot Dinotronic Mechasaur is a mouthful that makes me angry even reading it right now, so dropping it 1 tier lower than it was in PVZ2. Leprechaun Imp found a golden bathtub at the end of the rainbow. Regifting Zombie is someone I wouldn't want to touch with a 40-foot pole. And Skull Trooper over here goes into brown coat tier. Okay, 2 down, 3 to go. For the crazy side, Cuckoo Zombie is going in the same tier as his old buddy. Flamenco Zombie matches with all other dancing zombies, and so does Tennis Champ, Unlife of the Party, and Conga Zombie with their respective occupations and hobbyists. Cake Explosion seems like it has a nasty surprise in store, but the cake smells good, so we'll meet in the middle and say it goes in brown coat tier. This one goes in the same tier as the dancers. Loose Cannon should launch into a tub. Space Ninja needs to stop covering his stank with Febreze. Cosmic Dancer boogies his way in the middle tier. Gizzard Lizard smells like gizzards and lizards and is going in top tier for making me picture that. Aerobics Instructor and Abracadaver go in middle tier. Fireworks Zombie probably smells like gunpowder and a redneck 4th of July. Disco Knot smells like the 70s, for better or for worse. Gas Giant makes me wonder if zombies are immune to poison. Quickstraw Con Man lost a duel and landed in a bath as punishment, along with Grey Robber and Zombie's best friend. And I'm willing to give an exception for Valkyrie because she seems somewhat well kept, but still gets middle tier. Gargantuar's Feast is making me hungrier than I was before, bottom tier. K-Star Zombie and Binary Stars both get the brown coat treatment. Tinkylosaurus and Headhunter both get the shower treatment. Stupid Cupid gets to wash away its sins. Frankentar wasn't made in a time when baths were common sense. The Gargantuar throwing imp impresses me so much that it gets middle tier. And finally, the Hippity Hop Guard gets the middle tier for looking funny. Let's keep going with the momentum. Next up is Hardy, and Rolling Stone starts us off because apparently it's a meme card, and it's way funnier giving it bottom tier than top tier. As for our actual first picks, Team Mascot gets sent to the shower realm, Medic should stop running around the battlefield all the time and using deodorant to cover it, Arm Wrestler should wash off the grease on his body, Terrify is an apparition, and therefore couldn't smell any worse than a brown coat, Trash Can Zombie needs to find a new hobby and clean himself while he's at it, Celestial Custodian is perpetually clean and gets bottom tier for his hard work, Zombie Middle Manager gets top tier for his nerd emoji look, Sumo Wrestler should really wash everywhere, Coach Zombie needs to set a game plan around basic BO management, Rodeo Gargantuar is riding his way to a bath. These are starting to get hard for me. Cosmic Sports Star should conjure up a soap bar and some water, same with Primeval Yeti actually. Coffee Zombie reminds me of a hipster, and he gets bottom tier treatment simply because he cares. Genetic Experiment probably doesn't smell great after sitting in his own liquids for God knows how long. Planetary Gladiator seems relatively brown coat worthy. Wannabe Hero learns all the wrong things from Super Brains and lands in middle tier. Intergalactic Wizard summons deodorant wherever he goes. Zombot Battlecruiser 5000 rightfully earns bottom tier. Stompodon should stomp into some hot springs along with Chum Champion. Zombology Teacher and Gargologist seem like brown coaters. Turkey Rider is something I wouldn't eat at Thanksgiving. Going Viral might be a zombie, but it's hard to tell. I'll put it in top tier just because. Defensive End shouldn't defend his stink factor. And finally, Octopet smells really bad. Okay, one more to go. To round off PVZ Heroes as a whole, Sneaky is a class that has a ton of stinkers. In the literal sense. It'd almost be easier for me to say who doesn't stink. So, let's actually discuss that instead. Headstone Carver only gets BO tier, as does Firefighter. Ice Pirate gets brown coat tier, Surprise Karg seems like a sensible guy and gets BO tier for that reason, Space Pirate gets brown coat tier, Line Dancing Zombie gets middle tier, Dr. Spacetime gets brown coat tier, Space Cowboy gets one pass because it reminds me of Cowboy Bebop, so it gets middle tier, and finally, Zombie High Diver dives into middle tier. Oh, and I'll also rank Zombie just for fun because I found out this was once an attainable card. He goes into, fittingly, brown coat tier. That was a lot. But at the very least, I gave Heroes the treatment it genuinely deserves, because even if I don't like the game, it still needs to be given credit where credit is due. There's a ton of unique zombies here, especially when it comes to how they work and all that jazz. I think I have a deeper appreciation for the game after this ranking. But with that being said, we're not done yet. We have a few other small things to get out of the way, so let's cover the remaining stuff, which is... This section might seem like it's big, but it really isn't. We're only covering about 20 to 30 zombies total here, which is surprising to me. But anyways, starting off with my favorite PVZ game, I hold no bias for Battle for Neighborville when I say that 80s needs to take a shower. Seriously. Electric Slide and Space Cadets are ranked just a little higher, sitting in middle tier. TV Head is going to reside comfortably in brown coat tier. Old School is going to go in the middle tier, and Major Problem, I like cheese. We'll go with that, bottom tier. Also, Wrestling Star is still here for some reason. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? Modern PVZ 3 is a bit of a different tale. I'd say Pigeon Feeder and Zombie Pigeon both go into shower tier just for their idea alone, with Rock and Rollin' Imp, Bowling Zombie, Swinging Zombie, and Stealth Imp all going in middle tier. Tugboat is also here, and he goes into top tier because I hate him. Burn! The comics are also being accounted for, though for many of these, it's difficult for me to rank them properly since, you know, I've never read the comics. I hardly know anything about the characters. Even still, I decided to do my best with these, so with that being said, Frog Pants and Nigel seem like two pretty good guys, definitely better than Tugboat, so they get brown coat tier. Tugboat is getting ranked again, and he's at top tier again because he should perish. Anti-Bully Squad seems like a middle tier shoo-in. Big Trouble is a funny name, so he goes in the same tier. Billy Shimmers actually seems relatively well kept, so brown coat tier. Citron Smasher is a robot. Mr. Stubbins needs a shower desperately. Pokey Picknose is going into brown coat tier. Old Phil needs an old cleaning. Sherlock Brains is a funny concept and deserves the brown coat tier as such. Zombie Dogs is the easiest shower tier ever. Will is going there too because I don't like Shakespearean English. Zombici should stop using deodorant the way he does. Betty Blintbottom is the aunt of Nigel and gets brown coat for that association. Tabor seems somewhat chill and gets that same tier. Roller Debbie gets the middle tier. Give me a second with this one. Feldspar Mixed Swim Trunks has a really goofy name and is gonna get middle tier for it. And finally, Massive Munch Machine is also a robot, bottom tier. Okay, so that was a lot at the end, but for the most part, we've covered almost everything we could have discussed in this video. But there's a couple of stragglers, so we'll round off this video discussing the final crew, that being... With how many zombies there are in this video, I definitely missed some, and in this section, I figured I'd give a brief glance over some. First of all, PVZ1 has 3 somewhat unique zombies that do appear in the game itself. Those being the Chinese zombie, the sunflower zombie, and the zombie worm. To be safe, all will go in middle tier. There's also Jay and Silent Bob from PVZ2's early trailers, and I mean, dude, any other tier besides shower tier would be flat out disrespectful. But anyways, next up we have the Blitzer and the Berserker, which are both based off of Giga Football Zombie, but each are named differently and have slightly different designs to boot. That's really weird, but both get middle tier. And finally, for the ones that I feel I missed, here's a list of every pre-2024 PVZ3 zombie. I'm not gonna go in depth here, this video is long enough as is. But with this list, that's literally every zombie I could cover from the international side of the franchise, for the most part. Even after looking through everything that I have, I wouldn't consider this list to be the end-all be-all of the zombie counting. If you really want to get into specifics, I skipped over various teasers and promotional art pieces for this franchise, save for a couple from PVZ2. So if you'd like to see me count those, I might include them in my Chinese side video. I'm already counting the promotional zombies there, and that's breaking me a bit. Yikers. Well anyways, that's the video. Thank you all so much for 50,000 subscribers. I'm not sure if I mentioned it anywhere in the video, but this is actually my 50k sub special. The idea for this video has sat in my head for a little while now, but I never really did anything with it until recently. Though now I'm pretty happy that I did because it was a lot of fun organizing my thoughts for this project. But let me know, do you guys agree with my picks? Do you not? Tell me your thoughts and more in the comments down below. Also, I'd like to give some huge shoutouts to my extra Y-Side channel members, those being Dan B, Envious, Error Kiro, Glitch into Code 867, Johnny Homeowner, Mop, Nicholas Vankowski, Song, and Thunder Dragon. Alongside my normal YSI members, thank you all so much for supporting my content, y'all rock. And now, as for me here, I'm gonna go relax. Happy holidays to you all. This has been an incredibly taxing month on me. I had surgery while editing this video. Anyways, peace. My voice is hurting so badly, oh my god.
Easy dub, easy dub.
Shut up! And have a Merry Christmas.
Anyway.
Yes.
What did Bob say?